Alright guys, I'm officially bored. So, what I'm doing here is I'm going to, these were frozen jalapenos from our garden, and I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to fry them up a little bit. There's a little bit of oil in here, and what's going to happen is that the jalapenos are going to impart their yumminess into the oil here, and I'm defrosting and frying them at the same time, giving a nice good color here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the rest of my cream cheese and I'm going to toss it into here and soak up all that leftover oil in here and make a jalapeno cream cheese that's going to go on top of some of these rolls, specifically for Jet, because I can't eat spicy food. But, woohoo! This is something. And I am dying here because those jalapenos go right into the air. Alright. I'm going to take that. I'm going to flip it up with tongs. Quite got it. No, you went back the way you were. There we are. Those. Yeah, those are definitely defrosted now. Yeah, baby. Oh. Guys, we are in the market for a house right now, and not that we have the money or anything like that, but it's going to be cheaper than renting once we actually get the loan and all that. But once we get into a house, I'm planning on getting a house that has a fucking island in it, so that you guys aren't always looking at my fucking back. Hopefully the stove is in the island, right? And that way you guys can have a better view of what I'm doing here. But for right now, here we go. Alright, I'm going to take the jalapenos and take them out of here. Now, leave a little bit of that oil in the pan. There's going to be some of that residue there, and I'm hoping to pick that up with my cream cheese. So I'm going to go ahead and dump that in. Nice hot jalapeno cream cheese and a little bit of oil ended up on that plate. Remember guys, if you're handling peppers like this, the moment that you stop cutting the pepper, you should go over to the sink and you should totally wash your hands. And when you wash your hands, the way that I find that works the best, so that especially if you're wearing contacts and you need to take them out later in the day, take that off the heat now. So I'm just trying to absorb all that up. Is to put the soap on your hands first and then wash really good before you ever put it into water, right? So the soap is actually going to lift those oils off your hands. If you put water in there, it's going to wash the soap off before it has a chance to lift those up. So by getting yourself nice and soapy before you let water hit it, you're going to have a much better end result. Now let's go ahead and try this guy. Didn't pick up as much as that. Whoop. There's the kick. It's definitely in there. But I'm going to just take half of these. I'm going to use the rest for garnishes. I'm just going to go ahead and toss those in there. Just so that we get a little bit more of that smashy, smashy, smashy. Right, so I get those nice and done. Now, as you guys can see, I've gotten better at making my rolls. So here's the first ones right over here that were just crab and cream cheese and whatnot. And you know, I stopped trying to put the rice around the outside. It's just more advanced than I wanted it to be. And I also found that I don't really need the parchment paper below. I can just roll it up by hand. The seaweed is doing a good enough job on its own. When it's on the outside, it's a little bit easier than I think if we were trying to do the rice on the outside. Pardon 1 second. I might sneeze here for all the chilies there. Whoa! Alright, so this is going to be the jet roll, and I probably should actually put the jet roll onto its own little plate because I know I'm not going to be able to touch it. So, put it back here, toss in, rice first, make a nice little line of it. So, my thoughts on the seaweed, from what I've learned so far from experimentation, is that I would probably just dip it in water instead of soaking it. So that it will loosen up a little bit, but it's going to loosen up really fast, and I have the rest of it kind of drying off in the oven right now on a little bit of a lowerish heat. So let's go ahead and drop this nice jalapeno cream cheese right in the middle there, and let's go ahead and make this a salmon one. Jet likes salmon, so I'm going to go ahead and put a little strip of salmon in there, maybe a little bit of cucumber for some bite. And I like the vegetableness of the cilantro. I'm actually trying to leave some of the stem on, so it just has a little bit more of that cilantro crunch in here. One good note on cilantro is that if you have guests coming over and you are serving them any type of food and it has cilantro in it, ask them before you start making it, because some people are genetically predisposed to taste cilantro as being very soapy, and that's not going to be true of everybody. By the way, the shallot's a totally great idea. Totally worked. And that's going to save you some heartache later, because if you have a lot of cilantro in your food and people are tasting it and they're going, oh my god, this is so freaking soapy. Well, that's your fault. Okay, this is going to be intense. Oh my god, Jet, I'm sorry. This is really powerful wasabi, is what I've learned so far. Yes, I've been sitting here eating my mistakes, because why not? They're delicious. Alright. The other thing I've noticed is that, like, hydrating them and then trying to dehydrate them, the rolls kind of, the seaweed kind of shrinks, and you don't have it as good, but there we go. Notice that when I'm cutting, guys, I'm being incredibly gentle with my knife. I'm not putting downward pressure into it. I'm just letting that blade run across everything. Because if you put downward pressure on it, you're going to misshapen your rolls, and it's not going to be particularly pretty. You know what? I can just put these on the plate with all the other ones. I'm just going to put the jalapenos on top to mark which ones these are. Because, again, these are going to be very spicy. And so Jet knows which ones are very specifically his. Marked! Alright, it's two of us. This is a lot of sushi. I think when I was in the store, my eyes were much bigger than our stomachs will be in the long run, but that's okay. I am definitely going to have burning eyes tonight when I take out my contacts. Woohoo! And that one, usually like the end ones, I do find actually kind of do fall apart, so careful with that.